In a world that has absolutely no shortage of relevant news of things all over the world that affect even us here in little old, what would you call it? The pimple on the arse of Gomorrah. Or the tick that runs around in the rebel of Sodom. As we revel about our revelation. See what I did there? Yeah, I see what you did there. Advocate. Oh, seriously. After more than 6 decades, Greg knows what it means to be prepared. Good on him. Okay. Fair enough. 25-year-old man killed after car collides with trees in northern Tasmania. Right. And other than shock and awe and to upset anyone that's a friend or family of that person who clicks on to the Advocate News or picks up the paper today, what good is that story other than an attention getter? The bizarre standoffs. Council group says holding up new housing starts. Let me read that again. The bizarre standoffs council group says are holding up new housing starts. Okay, are they? I don't think so. The only people that hold up any housing starts are council. What housing? Is it private, public, Commonwealth or social? You know, social is only 3 letters off admitting what it is, socialist. I know I can't read it because I won't pay me subscriptions. Why? Why would I pay to read this garbage? What are the biggest questions heading into the 2026 coastal footy season? I don't know, ask the football players. Holy Trinity shares secrets to raffle fundraising success. We've been running raffles and shit since I was a kid at school. Come on. Holy Trinity would probably run the council better than the council could run a raffle. But don't be fooled. Really? Final touches reveal luxury details to Jennifer Hawkins and Jake Wiles' $30 million estate. Trump says US to run Venezuela after Maduro captured. Alright. Well, Hmm. 1918, Russia, the Romanov dynasty. When the entire Romanov family, the sultans of Russia, were murdered in a coup d'etat of sorts. 1945, Benito Mussolini and Claire Petacci in Italy. Okay, I know what you're going to say. Don't it? Or no, right? Or no? 1998-ish. Philippines. The Marcos family, who live happily ever after here in Australia, by the way. Oh, and the descendant Imelda Marcos's son is now filling her shoes. Oh, bad pun. Some people will get that. December the 30th, 2006. Oh, 2 days after my birthday. Iraq, Saddam Hussein was hanged. 2011, Libya, Muammar Gaddafi overthrown in a coup d'etat. Now, there's good and bad amongst that list. It's now been found out that Muammar Gaddafi was a hell of a good man. Nobody wanted for anything. Everybody had free education. Everybody had free healthcare. Everybody had everything they needed. They all got their royal estate. They actually got their royal estate. They were sovereign to the core. The true meaning of sovereign, as individuals and as a nation. That was a sovereign nation that wanted for nothing, that was overthrown because it wouldn't enter into the central banking system. In other words, nobody could hedge against them. There was no hegemony that would work. Hegemony, however you want to pronounce it. Leverage, purchase. When people got married in Libya, they was given a house. Anybody that needed surgery that they couldn't provide, they would send them to where the surgeon was and provide that surgery. Anybody that needed any special education so that they could provide that surgery or anything like that in the future, he sent them away and paid. Muammar Gaddafi sent them and paid for that education for them if they were up to the task. That was the one thing I mentioned in that day out of all that list that they all had in common. A coup d'etat for occupation to introduce hegemony, to put their countries backwards. Libya now is a cesspit of child sex trafficking, drugs, heroin, crack cocaine, women that used to have good homes, and girls that growing up that had a future now are shaking their booty on OnlyFans just to pay the bills. All in the name of our democracy, the God and country. Yeah, right. Which God? Maduro stinks and Muammar Gaddafi all over again. All is not as it seems, people. I mean, has the Advocate once reported on the proven fact with receipts that Larry Ellison, who was meant to give evidence against Benjamin Netanyahu in the International Court for human rights abuse, crimes against humanity, invited Benjamin Netanyahu to his island in the Caribbean, and they had a good old time together. And then next thing you know, in Jerusalem, there's a 9-level deep data centre built. Who's Donald Trump knocking about with in the White House? Larry Ellison. What did Benjamin Netanyahu and Donald Trump have in common when it comes to Larry Ellison? All the same contractors, all the same receipts, all the same costings, all the same inventory, infrastructure and hardware and software. What else do they have in common? Elon Musk's Boring Company. So what are they building 9 levels deep under the ballroom? What else do they need? A crane that's anchored and all those walls around the White House. A data centre. What else do they all have in common with one another? Well, gee, I don't know. Peter Thiel, you know, the Antichrist himself. Don't take my word for it. He's the one holding the Antichrist conferences all around the world. 4 of them. It's a 4-part conference. Don't take my word for it. Go and ask him. He'll tell you. Telling the world about the Antichrist. These are the people that your illustrious Donald Trump is knocking about with. He was mine for a little while. But by their fruits you shall know them, hey? Well, I've tasted his fruit and it's not very nice. Poison, in fact. Because I'm watching the people's minds go batshit. People I used to be able to actually have a conversation with, I can't even. Sorry, I can't help you. I can't have a conversation with you anymore. Because you're lying to yourself now. It's like, you know how bad it is to watch someone lie to themselves. Because I've done that myself in the past. I've lied to myself. And I've seen the looks that I've got from friends, family for doing it. Yeah. The worst lie you can tell is the lie you tell yourself. That's called refusing to bear your cross. You still carry it. That's called guilt, shame, all those things. Anyway, moving on. I moved to Tasmania for work. Here's what you should know before you go. Sunburned, savoury toast and shacks made this mainlander confused. This is the thing you should know before you go. Okay, before you come to Tassie looking for work, especially if it's agricultural work, you're not going to get any. Not anything meaningful where you'll get to make any kind of money at all that you can even live on. You'll make enough just to waste at the pokies is about it. From Nostradamus to bookies, their prediction for 2026. Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, people. That's witchcraft. 15-year-old girl among victims in horror collision with off-road vehicle. Again, how is this news? Well, it's the news inside the news, you know. Because no news is good news unless you're listening to Gary News. Stay alive. Planning ahead to ensure a safe summer on the coast. What? We haven't had much of a summer, have we? What have we had? Three hot days, maybe. My daughter's cooking. It's too hot to even exist. Come out of your bedroom for a while. Go outside and enjoy it. It's not as hot outside as in your bedroom cooking yourself. Beyond the ghosts of industry, can Burnie reclaim its former coastal glory? Not with you at the steering wheel, Teenie. You're too busy being a globalist, you grub. Eh? Let's not kid ourselves here. Oh, really? What glory? What glory? Let's see. We had a pulp mill in Tioxidons that completely destroyed the coast and all its aquaculture and the environment surrounds Round Hill, Stowport Road, right through to Wynyard, from Wynyard to Ulverstone, basically. What a mess! What an absolute mess it was. Ecology, aquaculture, everything just. I remember coming through here with my grandparents as a kid, going to Boat Harbour to stay at Boat Harbour on weekends during summer, at the hotel there. And every time we'd come through, I'd say, "Oh, we're in Burnie, Grandad. Look at the water, yuck." The only thing Burnie had then was money. For what? Money for what? All it was really, what was it? A communist union town. Everybody went to work and work looked after them and they got all this money and everything was hunky-dory. Now what do we have? No mum and pop shops, everything is the finest Chinesium that money can't buy. And muppets for council who wouldn't know glory if they tripped over it. Everyone born, all the businesses around here, like handed on from their parents, born with a silver fucking spoon in their mouth. Everything handed to them on a silver plate. Why? Because of the glory days of the ugliest town in Tasmania. The pulp days. These are the descendants of the Pulpites and the Tioxidons. I just made those two words up. Pulpites and Tioxidons. The dinosaurs. Their days are gone. You can't have that money, Teenie Brumby, and have the Green Planet Sustainability Agenda of the United Nations at the same time. You can't have the renewable energies that don't work and all that money. The money's not the glory. The money is just a means to an end. And look at Burnie. It was a means to an end, alright, wasn't it? You're not real clever, Teenie. So there's usually you get one or the other. You're either smart and intelligent or you're clever. And the only people that are intelligent and smart and clever never get discovered. Why? Because they're intelligent and smart enough to not show anybody what they're clever with. Oh shit, probably best I don't tell anyone about this. Why? Because they'll just make another fucking bomb with it. Because they'll just use it to rule over us. The technology that we own actually owns us. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Let's not kid ourselves. Teenie isn't running shit. Steve Kons is still the shadow mayor of Burnie. Lord Farquhar, I like to call him. Lord Farquhar, how is it that we can help you this year? Get me another $17.3 million to spend on my CBD. The Kons Mafioso will be just fine and dandy, and you can operate as business as usual, doing your little property deals amongst yourselves and approving my building projects, letting me buy public infrastructure for peanuts for cents on the dollar. Some of us see it for what it is. Right? Go and shred some more documents, you grub. This is not leadership. A royal commission will drag the evil into the light. I ask you, how can we have a royal commission? This is Albanese's Bondi response. I'm not interested. But how can we have a royal commission without a royal seal, without the great royal seal in our constitution? Doesn't that make it a farce? Doesn't that make that Kapuka Theatre just symbolic, as Anthony Albanese and co like to put it? Oh, the changes to the constitution are symbolic. And so are your royal commissions, mate. Yeah, you've made it symbolic. It's just symbolic. We can do what we like. How? Well, when we change the constitution, we change the words must and must not to may and may not, open to our interpretation to whatever we want to do on any given day. Frustrated cops catch more than 1,100 Tassie speeders in under 12 days. And nobody can neither confirm nor deny the accuracy of those numbers. And what's the leniency now? If you get caught at 3 kilometres over Do you just go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm guilty, and cop the on-the-spot fine? Or do you fight that in court? You should be fighting it in court. Why? Because you can have your speed control switched on your car. There's this thing called gravity and physics, centrifugal force, all that. Your speed control, those that have brakes attached to them, don't activate until you're already speeding. Hello? You're not police, you're just fucking road pirates and revenue raisers. That's all yous are. Road pirates, revenue raisers, and fucking useful idiots. Trespassers. Discretionary privileges granted by the Commonwealth, we the Commonwealth, we the people, are there for a police officer to use their own discretionary discernment, their own critical mind and their own conscience to weigh up the balance, harm versus good, right versus revenue. Am I doing the right thing? Am I going to do far more harm than any good that I stand to maybe not do right here, right now? You see, you're supposed to uphold the rule of law, not enforce legislature. You're supposed to work for us as a public servant, okay? The government isn't the public, we are. If you're doing long-term harm to a family for the sake of nothing burgers, somebody's got a little bit of pot. Oh, somebody's got a pair of scissors. Who gives a fuck? With the capital F. Now what happens if I buy a pair of scissors, brand new, and they're still in the packet? Is that still classed as a weapon? If it's still got the tag around the handle? Is that still going to be classed as a weapon by you fucking mongers? If I go to Tupperware and buy myself a new pocket knife for camping, or I'm a farmer, because farmers always need a bloody knife, I'll walk out of that store and have the wand wave over me, and that's in my pocket. Receipt or not, I just bought it. Yeah, but you can't be out in public with it. How do I get it back to my car? How do I get it home? How do I get it home on the bus if I don't have my own transport? Have you even thought this through at all? When you catch an addict or a user of some sorts who's probably dealing with some shit, do you turn them into a criminal or do you try to help them? When you come across somebody who might be having a bad day, you don't know what happened 2 minutes prior to bumping into that person. They might be speeding, they might be crying, they might be upset, they might be a little bit angry, maybe they just need to cool off, maybe they need someone to vent with, someone to just yell at and cop it for 5 minutes and then, I'm sorry, that wasn't your fault. That's a peacekeeper, right? The original name of a police officer is a peacekeeper. A peace officer in the police service. You know, before you got an ABN and turned it into a business. You don't know if somebody just found out that their wife's cheating on them. Or if they just found out that maybe their kids are on drugs. Or they're on their way to hospital to see their mother with stage 2 cancer or something. Or they just finished putting their mother into an urn. You don't know that, do you? Nor do you even ask, nor do you even give a shit. Oh, sorry about that. Well, yeah, if you could just stick this in your gob and stick that in your gob and let us molest you. It's molestation. And somebody, anybody, doesn't matter if they got a badge or not, encourages you or coerces you under duress to put anything in your body to trespass against your right to autonomy, that's molestation. I think it's Jehovah's Witnesses, there's a couple of others, maybe Exclusive Brethrens. How do you go with those people? How do you go with those people? If they exercise their right to autonomy, you'll have to have a blood test. Sorry, you can't take my blood on religious grounds. Under the freedom to right to religion act. See how legislations are trampling all over people's rights and the law. You're not doing the general public any kind of service at all. You're just robbing us. All you're doing is robbing us. You reach for as many kind of charges and related charges and the same charge worded in a different fashion to throw on the table, just so that the prosecutor's got a few to take away as a carrot. It's how it works. If we can dream up six charges and convince them that they're serious charges, so that then when they plead not guilty, the lawyer chases them down out before they, don't go anywhere just yet, I'll talk to you in a minute, and they come out and they talk to you in the conference room, there's a plea deal already on the table. How do they know unless it's a scam? How do they know there's already a plea deal on the table before you've even gone to court and made a plea of not guilty? The only time there's not a plea deal on the table is when you plead guilty. This is not legal advice. It's just the truth.